news. Today we have a special guest joining us to help unpack a pivotal moment in our history, Indian nationalism. Meet Professor McHistory, a historian specializing in South Asian studies, specifically Indian nationalism. Professor McHistory, why don't you set the stage for our viewers? Thank you for that introduction, reporter. It's 1942, and India is at its tipping point. Nationalism is catching fire, uniting people all across the country to fight against British rule. But wait, let's rewind. In the late 1700s, the British took over India and claimed the land. After about 100 years under British rule, the first major rebellion began in 1857, starting a widespread resistance. Economic difficulties and cultural disrespect from British policies brought together various groups of Indians, soldiers, rulers, peasants, and intellectuals to fight for their rights and traditions. Although the British stopped this rebellion, it sparked a strong sense of nationalism that set the stage for later movements toward independence. Next question. Who were the key figures of Indian nationalism and how did they impact India? Important leaders of Indian nationalism were Mahatma Gandhi, who guided India using peaceful protests, Jawaharlal Nehru, shaping a democratic India, Subhas Chandra Bose, who supported fighting for independence, and B.R. Ambedkar, fighting for the oppressed. Each of these people had a big impact on India's journey to becoming independent. I also found a quote by Mahatma Gandhi. He once said, "In a gentle way, you can shake the world." Another quote that I found, this one is by Jawaharlal Nehru. "A moment comes which comes but rarely in history, when we step out from the old to the new, when an age ends and when the soul of a nation, long suppressed, finds utterance." Next question. What does Indian nationalism look like? Indian nationalism was a movement to free India from British rule, involving everything from peaceful protests and civil disobedience to revolutionary acts. Key symbols, like the Indian tricolor flag, were central. People from various cultural backgrounds joined in large numbers, showing unity and a strong common purpose. This movement highlighted the country's pride, love for freedom, and desire for self-rule. Where were the main regions in India that were most affected by Indian nationalism? So nationalism deeply affected many regions across India. However, the main places included Bengal, Punjab, Kolkata, Mumbai, and Lahore. When was the most important time of Indian nationalism? That's a great question. The most critical time point of Indian nationalism was from 1919 to 1947. This era witnessed significant movements such as the non-cooperation movement in 1920, the civil disobedience movement in 1930, and the Quit India movement in 1942, which were pivotal in the starting of Indian society against British rule and led to India's independence in 1947. You can also scan this QR code up here, and it will take you to a blog post explaining these movements in more depth. And why is Indian nationalism so important in a country's history? Nationalism helps people feel connected and work together to overcome big challenges. In India, nationalism brought people together to fight against British control. This unity was crucial for India to become an independent and democratic country after gaining freedom, and it shaped the country's earliest laws and international relationships. How did religion influence India's nationalism, or did it? This one is something I have to think about. So, religion has played a complex role in Indian nationalism. In 1947, tensions between Hindus and Muslims led to the division of India into two countries, India and Pakistan. Leaders like Gandhi tried to use religion to unite people, such as fasting for peace between these communities. Despite this, religious conflicts, often made worse by British influence, have continued to affect Indian politics and nationalism, showing how religion can both bring people together and drive them apart. Wow, this has been so much helpful information. Unfortunately, we are running out of time. Do you mind wrapping things up for us? Okay, so in 1947, after over 200 years under British control, India finally achieved independence. This moment of victory showcases the power of unity and the enduring spirit of nationalism. Decades later, this defining moment continues to resonate as India, now a rising economic force and a pillar of democracy, confronts its challenges while shaping its future on the global stage. Thank you so much for your time, Professor McHistory, and thank you for tuning in. Until next time. Thank you for having me.